He said he was taking the night to journal and reflect. I found his reflection on her story, him, in pajamas, eating pasta. I commented, "Love a man who writes with his mouth full. My name's Claire. I'm 34. I live just outside Columbus, Ohio, in a neighborhood where folks still wave when they drive by. I work from home doing books for a few local shops and one auto repair place. It's boring, but it pays well and keeps me home." Mason, my boyfriend, or ex, whatever, was a physical therapist at a clinic across town. We lived together for almost 2 years. Had a little townhouse with a fenced yard and a dog named Moose. Things weren't explosive between us, but they were comfortable. We had routines. We didn't fight much. And if we did, we always circled back to each other. At least that's what I thought. It started 6 weeks ago on a Wednesday. He came home quiet, dragging his feet. Said work was stressful. I asked what he wanted for dinner, and he just stared at the fridge. Then he looked at me and said, "I think I need a night to myself." I asked what he meant. He said he wanted to journal, reflect, maybe take a long walk, get his head on straight. Said he was just overwhelmed. Life stuff. Couple stuff. He said it kindly, not cold, not angry. He kissed me on the forehead, packed a bag, and said he was going to Drew's house, a single guy he'd known for years. I told him I understood. At 7:12 p.m., he walked out the front door. I watched him from the window. He didn't even glance back. I did what most women do when they're trying not to worry. I cleaned. Dishes. Bathroom. Wiped out the fridge. I kept glancing at my phone, hoping he'd text something small, even a "made it to Drew's." But nothing came. At 10:13 p.m., I sat in bed with Moose at my feet and started scrolling Instagram. I tapped through some stories, nothing special, until I landed on one from a girl named Talia. Now, Talia wasn't someone I followed, but I'd seen her before. She was tagged in a gym photo Mason posted 2 months ago. I remembered because I asked him who she was, and he said she was just a friend from a fitness workshop. I didn't think much of it then. But there she was on my screen. The video was short, maybe 5 seconds. It showed Mason in the blue plaid pajamas I got him for Christmas. He was sitting cross-legged on her couch, twirling spaghetti on a fork, grinning. In the background, I heard her giggle. Her caption read, "Midnight pasta with the sweetest soul smiling face with hearts." I stared at it. I clicked back, watched it again, then again. Same couch, same laugh, same pajamas. He didn't even have the decency to change clothes before going over there. I felt my whole body heat up. My face, my chest, my ears. I wasn't crying. I wasn't yelling. But I was shaking. I didn't think. I didn't weigh my options. I didn't draft a message and delete it 3 times. I tapped reply to her story and typed, "Love a man who writes with his mouth full. Hope the pasta was worth it." Then I hit send, closed my phone, and sat there in silence. I didn't sleep that night. And when morning came, I didn't cry either. I made coffee, took Moose for a walk, fed him, took a shower, brushed my hair, sat down at my laptop like it was any other day. But something had changed. Something inside me had clicked. He thought he was clever. Thought he could lie with a calm voice and a forehead kiss. Thought I'd stay home like a fool while he played house with someone else. He had no idea who he was dealing with. I wasn't going to scream or beg or throw his clothes out the window. I wasn't going to post long paragraphs about knowing my worth or any of that crap people do for attention. I was going to be quiet, precise, and slow, the way I knew would hurt the most. Because Mason liked control. He liked things neat and easy. He liked coming home to groceries put away, bills paid, and his drawers organized. He liked being seen as the good guy. Thoughtful, soft-spoken, responsible. The kind of man mothers brag about and women feel lucky to catch. So that's where I'd start. I opened a fresh Google document, titled it The Plan. And I started typing. This wasn't just about pasta. This was going to be about every lie he told with a straight face. I didn't confront him right away. That's what he would have expected. A fight. Some crying. Maybe a dramatic "how could you?" But I didn't give him that. I gave him silence. The morning after I saw the video, he came home around 9 a.m., said he'd stayed up talking with Drew, really thinking through things. He looked tired, like he hadn't slept, and smelled like her perfume, that sickly sweet, drugstore kind that lingers on skin. I smiled. Feeling better? I asked like I didn't know. He nodded. Yeah. I think I just needed the time. I'll make it up to you, I promise. That promise was all I needed. I told him it was fine. That I understood. That we all need space sometimes. And then I got to work. Step 1 was the lease. My name was the only one on it. I had signed for the townhouse before we even met, and when he moved in, I never added him officially. He just paid me his share. I called my landlord and told him I'd be needing to end the lease early, emergency family situation. I'd take the penalty. I had savings, and it'd be worth every cent. He gave me a 30-day notice form. I filled it out and submitted it by noon. Step 2. I found a small place downtown. 1 bedroom. No yard. But it had a locked gate, good lighting, and no shared walls. Perfect for a fresh start. I put down a deposit and got my move-in date, 3 weeks out. Now I just had to play nice. For the next 2 weeks, I was the best damn girlfriend you've ever seen. I made his favorite meals. Rubbed his back when he complained about work. I even let him think he was working on us when he'd come home with flowers from Kroger or put his phone down during dinner. Every time I caught him texting with his screen turned away, I smiled. Every time he said he was going to the gym late, I kissed his cheek and told him to drive safe. Let him get real comfortable. Because step 3 was where things got real. See, Mason had a side gig fixing people's bikes. He did it cheap, sometimes for free, just to keep busy. Kept the tools in our garage. Had a little metal cabinet where he stored everything from brake cables to tire patches. I knew the code. He never changed it. One night, after he left for the gym, I pulled everything out. I posted the tools online as a garage bundle and sold it for $400 cash to a guy named Rick, who picked it up in his truck that same night. The next day, Mason went out to the garage and came back inside confused. Did you move my stuff? Your what? My tools. My cabinet. Everything's gone. I stared at him. Oh, shoot. I thought those were leftover from the last tenants. I donated them. His face dropped. Claire, that was mine. That was like hundreds of dollars of stuff. I frowned. You never told me. I thought it was junk. He didn't blow up. He couldn't, not when he was pretending to be the good guy again. He just clenched his jaw and said, "Fine," and walked away. That night, he didn't come home. He texted, said he was staying at Drew's again. But he wasn't. I checked. Talia posted a story of them watching a movie, his arm around her. I screenshotted it. Saved it for later. A few days later, I took Moose to stay with my sister. Told Mason I was taking him to the vet out of town. That we might stay overnight. He barely looked up from his phone when I left. That same day, I started packing. Quietly. Box by box. Closet by closet. I had 3 days before my move-in. I made a plan to finish it in 2. On the 3rd morning, I left a key on the counter and a manila folder labeled for Mason. Inside was a copy of the 30-day notice, a screenshot of him in her apartment eating pasta, a printed copy of my comment, a note that said, "Here's your space. Enjoy the reflection." I blocked him. On everything. Changed my number. Switched gyms. Got a new email. He couldn't find me if he tried. But the best part? The townhouse was paid through the end of the month. Which meant he had 2 weeks left in an empty house. No dog, no tools, no girlfriend, no clue where I went. He tried messaging my sister once. She left him on read. A month later, I heard from a mutual friend that Talia dumped him. Said he was too moody and had trust issues. The guy who couldn't even be honest about pasta got left for being controlling. Couldn't have written it better myself. A few weeks passed. Life got quiet. Not peaceful, not yet, but quiet. My new place was small, but it felt like mine. No memories in the walls. No toothbrush beside mine in the bathroom. I started walking moose in the mornings, trying new recipes, talking to my sister more. Slowly, the pieces began to settle. Then I got an email. Not from Mason. From his boss. The subject line, question regarding Mason Avery. I almost deleted it. Thought maybe it was a mistake. But curiosity got the better of me. The email said, "Hi Claire, I hope this finds you well. I'm reaching out because Mason recently applied for a promotion here at the clinic, and he listed you as a reference. I wanted to confirm a few employment dates and ask a couple of general character questions. Would you be open to a brief call?" My heart thudded. He actually thought I'd lie for him. Thought I'd hand him a clean slate after the mess he made. I took a deep breath and called the number in the signature. The woman who answered was polite. Said her name was Shelley. Said Mason had applied for the lead physical therapist role at their second location opening in Dayton. He mentioned you two live together, she said, and I just wanted to get a general sense of his character, punctuality, reliability, how he handles stress. I kept my voice calm. I don't know what he's told you, Shelley, but Mason and I are no longer together. We lived together for a while, yes. But I wouldn't describe him as reliable. He often lied about his whereabouts, used work as an excuse to cover up infidelity, and had trouble accepting accountability for his actions. There was silence on the line. I continued. I wouldn't trust him with a team. He doesn't lead, he avoids. And when things get hard, he lies. Shelley cleared her throat. I appreciate the honesty. That helps. Thank you. After we hung up, I didn't feel great. But I felt honest, and that meant something. 3 days later, I got a message from one of Mason's old coworkers. A girl named Riley. We had followed each other back when things were good. Her message said, "Hey, just wanted you to know Mason didn't get the promotion. Thought you should hear it from someone who's not him." That should have been the end of it. But then Riley sent another message. "Also, you should know. He's been telling people you cheated. That you left him for some guy with money." I felt like I'd been slapped. That was Mason's real revenge, lies. Spreading garbage to make himself look like the victim. I'd left clean. Quiet. Without dragging him through the mud. And this is how he paid me back? So I made one more move. There was a Facebook group in our town. A private one. Mostly neighbors sharing updates, lost pets, local businesses. Mason was in it. I knew that because he'd once commented on a post about fixing bikes. I posted, not with rage, not with drama, just this. PSA for anyone who knows or works with Mason Avery, please make sure he knows the difference between journaling and cheating. Because last I checked, spaghetti with your side girl isn't a form of therapy. Also, if he tells you I left him for a rich guy, feel free to ask him who paid the rent. I did. Every month. While he lied to my face. It blew up. 50 comments. Some supportive. Some shocked. A few people even admitted they'd seen him out with Talia and weren't sure what to think at the time. Talia's cousin, apparently also in the group, commented too. Wow. Didn't know the full story. She said you lost interest. That's not what this looks like. Mason didn't comment. Didn't defend himself. But the next day, his profile was gone. Deleted. I'd told the truth. That's all I did. And now even the lies couldn't save him. I thought that would be the last twist. Thought I could move on, finally. But people like Mason don't go down quietly. They squirm, twist, and claw to rebuild the image they worked so hard to sell. And when that image cracks, they panic. It was about 2 weeks after the Facebook post when I got a call from an unknown number. I let it go to voicemail, as I always do now. But this one left a message. It wasn't Mason. It was his mom. "Claire, this is Denise. I know we haven't spoken much, but I heard some things and I just want to clear the air. Can we talk? Please. I hadn't spoken to her in months. She'd always been cold to me, polite but distant. Mason told me she was just private. I used to try. Sent her birthday gifts. Invited her for holidays. She came once, stayed 20 minutes, and left early. I didn't call her back. But then she texted me, I know what he did. I'm not calling to defend him. Just, please, call me. Something about that got to me. I dialed. She answered on the first ring. Her voice was tight, shaky. I'm not here to make excuses for him, she said right away. But I need you to know, you weren't the first. I froze. What? He's done this before. He dated a girl named Marissa before you. She was sweet. Kind like you. He lied to her too. Same pattern. Said he needed space, started seeing someone else behind her back. My stomach turned. I thought he'd changed, she went on. When he moved in with you, I really thought maybe this time would be different. But when I saw that Facebook post, I knew exactly what happened. I asked why she never said anything before. She sighed. I didn't think it was my place. He's my son, Claire. But I see now that protecting him just let him hurt people. Then she said something that caught me off guard. I want to fix this. I want to help make it right. I didn't know what that meant at first. But she did. She told me Mason had applied for a job at a high-end physical therapy clinic in Indianapolis, a place that did background checks, reference calls, and even family interviews for leadership positions. She offered to give a statement. I'll tell them everything, she said. He won't use my name to move up while pretending he's someone he's not. I didn't ask her to do it, but she did. A week later, I got an email from one of the clinic's HR reps, a follow-up. I didn't reply. I didn't need to, because Denise already had. A few days later, I heard from Riley again. Just FYI, that job in Indy? He didn't get it. Word spreading. But that wasn't the twist. The twist came when Riley sent another message. You should probably know. He's been trying to talk to Talia again. She posted a weird caption last night. Some people never change, but that won't stop them from trying. I didn't care about Talia. Not anymore. But then I got one more message. From Marissa. The ex before me. She said, Claire, I saw your post. Thank you. I never had the courage to say it out loud, but he did the exact same thing to me. I lost friends over that breakup. People didn't believe me. Thought I was bitter. You gave me my voice back. That's when I knew this wasn't just about revenge anymore. It was about truth. About not letting people like Mason move through life untouched, unharmed, unbothered, while they leave broken women behind. He wanted me to vanish. Wanted to rewrite the story with him as the victim. But I wrote it first. And I wrote it loud. It all came to a head one night when I got an email I didn't expect. From Mason. A long one. No greeting. No hi or how are you. Just lines of anger and panic and desperation all mashed together. You ruined everything. You had your little tantrum and now I'm blacklisted. Do you feel good? You had no right to go public. You lied about me. You made people hate me. You went too far. He ended it with, you didn't just hurt me. You destroyed me. I hope it was worth it. I read it 3 times. And I'll be honest with you, a part of me did wonder. Did I go too far? Then I remembered the pasta. The forehead kiss. The weeks of lies while I cooked his meals and folded his laundry and let him sleep beside me like he hadn't already checked out. I remembered how I protected him, how I stayed quiet for weeks, playing house while he played me. And I remembered Marissa's message, and Denise's shaky voice, and Talia's Instagram story. He did this to himself. I just told the truth. I didn't reply to his email. I didn't need to. The silence was the answer. He wanted control again. And he wasn't going to get it, not from me. A week later, Denise sent one final message. He moved back home. He's angry. lost, blaming everyone but himself. I told him I won't cover for him anymore. He said you poisoned people against him. I told him no, he did that all on his own. And, just like that, it was done. I deleted the email thread, blocked the address. I looked around my small apartment. Still quiet. Still mine. Still healing. I was never perfect in all this. I let it go on too long. Ignored signs. Gave too many chances. Believed words over actions. That's on me. But I learned. I learned that quiet women can be dangerous when pushed too far. That sometimes revenge isn't fire, sometimes it's just telling the truth when no one else will. Mason tried to rebuild his story on top of lies. I tore it down with facts. He wanted space to reflect. Now he's got all the time in the world. Alone. Jobless. No friends left who buy his act. And every time someone hears his name, they think of me. The girl who smiled, handed him a fork, and then took the whole damn table away. Let him choke on the pasta. I'm done washing the dishes.